All right, let's talk about how to use this data collection sheet. First of all, don't use this one that is linked on Moodle. All right, make a copy of this one and then share it with your group. Now, this this data sheet is very nice because when you go down to surface area, there is room for you to input all of your measurements as you make them today. So for example, if I'm doing surface area, I have to take the area of my filter paper standard, right? So I'm going to go and measure it, I'm going to calculate it out, and I'm going to put my area in millimeters squared. All right. I'm also going to take the mass of my filter paper standard. All right. Now I'm going to make up a number here, and I'm going to say that mass is 0.3. All right. Notice some numbers have already changed. That is because there are some formulas already embedded within this data sheet. It's going to make your life a little bit easier and make lab go a little bit faster, that you don't have to individually calculate every single surface area. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and take the mass of all of my leaves on a single plant. So I'm going to say this plant had 4 leaves, all right, and the masses were 0.32, 0.33, 0.46, and 0.51, right? Oh, and I put a comma instead of a period. There we go. Now the surface area has already been calculated for you, all right, and because this plant only had 4 leaves, right, my average is taking into account those 4 leaves. This would be the surface area of that particular plant. Great. You'll continue doing that for all 3 of your control plants and all 3 of your experimental plants. All right, now this data that I've entered in, right, will also be used later. Now what I want to do is go to my stomatal density, and I've already calculated what my field of view should be. All right, so I'm going to put a number in there, making it up off the top of my head for an example here. My field of view is I'll say 0.68 millimeters squared. All right, now again, this is where I go in and I make stomatal peels. Now you only have to make stomatal peels from 2 leaves, right? So I'm going to say my first count was 6, and then I had 8, and this one had 11 stomata. It's going to automatically average it. It's going to tell me what my stomatal density was for that leaf, right? Now I want to do from the same plant a second leaf. So I'm going to say this one was 4, this one was 7, this one was 9. Again, I get my average here. All right. This one here should also automatically calculate. Looks like I have an error, so let me fix that now. All right, there, it's fixed. All right, so now I have a nice value. This is my stomatal density per my plant, right? It's taking into account my average stomata, right, as well as my field of view, right? So now I get my stomatal density per plant, right? So that's my stomatal density. Now, when I need to calculate the actual number of stomatas, all right, it's going to use the values I just calculated, right? But it's going to automatically pop up with the value, right? So I can see for my first plant, control 1, it takes into account total surface area, mean stomatal density, and then it gives me my average stomatal number of about 843,000 stomata on this plant. Great. All right, when you have all of this filled out, you'll see at the bottom I have this tab, Sigma Plot Ready Values. It should automatically update this tab for you. Now your growth rate data, you've already collected throughout your 2 weeks here. I want you to put down your final height measurement, and then the number of days it grew since it germinated. All right, so you'll have to count that out. It will calculate out the rate of growth, right? And this will automatically again be calculated for you. And if you go that Sigma Plot Ready Values, it'll already update for you. So that when you get to Sigma Plot, these are the values that you will need to use to do your t-tests. The last page on this spreadsheet here is if you want to graph growth over time. right? So if you want to graph growth over time, you'll simply input all those height measurements that you made daily into this chart. And I'll talk about how to make this graph in a different video.